This news update is brought to you by...
Say hello to Chelsea. Chelsea is a champion surfer, so she's accustomed to moving super fast, which is why she relies on super fast broadband brought to her through Flow's 100% fiber to the home network. It keeps her family sharing and surfing and saving each month. Combined, she bundles her Flow mobile, home phone, and TV services, so she can enjoy much more for much less, and so can you. Visit any Flow retail outlet, call 1-800-804-2994, or visit discoverflow.co to find out more. One-of-a-kind connection. This is how we flow.
It's Wednesday, June 29, and this is your Barbados Day afternoon update. I'm Kamar Jordan. Thanks for joining us. We get started with a strong call from one of the region's leading academics for an immediate end to colonialism. Vice Chancellor of the University of the West Indies, Sir Hilary Beckles, told a Caribbean symposium examining the impact of Britain's decision to sever ties with the European Union that the Caribbean has to make moves of its own. He was adamant that the region could no longer loiter at the doorsteps of its former colonial master, as he called for all countries to move to republican status and to part ways with British institutions.
We have to end colonialism in the Caribbean right now. Britain has made its move once again. We have to end the colonialism. We have to put an end to all of this Privy Council manipulation. We need to set up Caribbean indigenous institutions, and we must tell the Queen thank you very much and goodbye. We have to go to republican status right across the Caribbean. We have to end colonialism. How much longer are we going to linger? How much longer are we going to linger? They push us out, they bring you back, they push you in, they bring you back, and you are holding on. It is creating psychological dependency. Free the Caribbean people. End the colonialism. End it. Let us see our future as belonging to us. We will relate to the European Union because it is a logical, historical market for us to trade and to be a part of. And we must remember the history. The European Union is large because it was built upon the history of extracting resources from the Caribbean. So it's not alien to us. The European Union is part of our domestic history. We have always been in it. We have helped to build it. Its wealth is based upon relations with us.
So Hilary told the forum underway at the Mona's campus of the University of the West Indies that the region has to act now and with one voice in response to the Brexit vote. Among a number of recommendations, he called for the establishment of a Caribbean task force to thoroughly examine and research all aspects of Caribbean-EU relations.
All aspects must be thoroughly researched and understood, a standing task force to examine all of these, so that our leaders are not going to make comments and make positions on an ad hoc basis, but everything that they do and say from here on in has to be rooted in research and the facts as we understand them scientifically. We have to shift to a new kind of politics, new kind of diplomacy, fact-based, research-driven. We can do this, and we must do this. Everything we do from here on in, week by week, month by month, has to be thoroughly researched, examined, and the data made available to our decision makers.
Barbados will not be following Jamaica's lead to ban travelers from countries where there is a risk of yellow fever. On Monday, Jamaica denied entry to a number of passengers who flew into Kingston from Trinidad and Tobago because they were unable to produce evidence that they were vaccinated against the virus. Barbados Today understands that a prominent Barbadian banker was among those turned back. Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Kenneth George assures that medical authorities here are on top of the situation, and he insists there's no need for a ban at this stage.
We don't have the science to suggest that we are going to follow Jamaica with respect to any bans on persons traveling to Guyana or Trinidad and Tobago. The issues of yellow fever resurfaced because there is currently an outbreak in Central Africa where people have died. And the approach in the Ministry of Health is not to widely ban persons from entering Barbados, but to work with the agencies at the airport. So the immigration officers and the persons who, environmental or health officers at the airport, are scrutinizing where people are coming from.
Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana are included on a World Health Organization advisory of countries at risk of yellow fever. George is advising citizens planning to travel to at-risk regions to get vaccinated.
We are encouraging persons who are going to Brazil for the Olympic Games to be immunized. The vaccine is best, is most efficacious or most better used at least 10 days prior to travel to an endemic area. Because the endemicity rate is higher in South America, we had required proof of yellow fever vaccines when the Gulf flight was flying here. So that, and we did, and that was enforced. But with respect to our local CARICOM neighbors, we have not arrived at that situation yet.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
I love it. I love it. I give in your sweetness. Hey, it's your girl Azizi, the Barbados City Crop Over Superstar 2015. The competition is even more exciting this year. There'll be 3 champions. The public will choose their junior, Soca Royale, and Pickety Crop champions. So here's how it works. Go to our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/Barbados Today to fill out your competition form. 2. Upload your video with your song to Barbados Today's Facebook page. 3. Make sure you invite all your friends and family to vote for you. The contestant with the most votes by the end of their competition will be crowned champion. I gave me your sweetness. I know you like sweetness. All of this is sweetness. Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Continuing with regional news, Jamaica has been the ATM for Trinidad and Tobago. That's the claim of the private sector organization of Jamaica, the PSOJ, which says it wants Prime Minister Andrew Holness to use the upcoming CARICOM Heads of Government Summit in Guyana to push forcefully for changes that will balance trading relationships within the 15-member grouping. William Mafu, the PSOJ president who made the claim, was responding to a comment made by former Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar back in Jamaica in 2010, that her country was not an ATM machine for the Caribbean. He argues that Jamaica, without realizing it, has been the ATM for Trinidad for many years. He also contends that CARICOM is a one-way street and Trinidad is the only beneficiary of CARICOM. Further afield, Turkey is observing a national day of mourning after a gun and suicide bomb attack on Istanbul's Ataturk airport killed 41 people, including 13 foreign nationals. 3 attackers arrived in a taxi and began firing at a terminal entrance late last night. They blew themselves up after police fired back. Officials say 239 people were injured in all, with 41 still in intensive care. The Turkish Prime Minister is pointing fingers at the Islamic State, but so far no one has admitted to the attack.
A horrifying scene of carnage and destruction at Turkey's busiest airport. 3 suicide attackers carrying out a deadly siege on Tuesday night. The coordinated attack captured by airport surveillance cameras. 2 of the terrorists opening fire at the international terminal before blowing themselves up. This amateur video shows just some of the injured laying outside on the ground before the first explosion. That sound from the first blast by the arrival hall on the first floor. Travelers seemingly unaware of the attack that is about to unfold. Another surveillance video captures the chaos inside as one of the attackers runs into the airport. Then he's apparently shot by a police officer, his gun sliding across the floor. Seconds later, Another massive explosion. Roof tiles falling, panes of shattered glass along the floor, and bullets perforating the windows and walls. The third attacker detonating a third explosion at a parking lot at Ataturk Airport. Istanbul's airport is known for its heavily fortified security inside and outside the terminals. Turkey's Prime Minister says the attackers arrived at the airport by taxi. He says all indications point to ISIS, bearing chilling similarities to the deadly bombings in March at Brussels airport and subway system.
Well, that's news and sports at this hour, but for more you can log on to www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper or email updates, or you can like us on Facebook. We also, if you're moving around Barbados today, on Izumi Media in a bus terminal, or screenplay in a supermarket or a gas station near you. You can also check us out on Channel 99, that's on Flow TV, or Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Kamar Jordan. Have a fabulous afternoon and be sure to join us around 6 o'clock this evening.